You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Welcome to The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for AMC's The Walking Dead. I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron.
And tonight we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 7, entitled Pretty Much Dead Already. Do we have any news to start off this episode?
I just want to point out an article that I posted to the Facebook site that was entitled 5 Ways That You Can Fix Walking Dead. Uh-huh. And I don't know if, to the extent that you agree that The Walking Dead needs to be fixed. It's from The Atlantic. Mm-hmm. But it has a really long kind of explanation for this. But it lines up with some of our thoughts, I thought.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Again, sign up for our Facebook fan page if you want to read the link. But one was stop repeating scenes. Something that we've been on board on.
Definitely.
2 is embrace the genre, which basically means more zombies and more horror. I
don't know that I agree
cliches.
with that one, honestly. I feel like The Walking Dead's strength is that they don't.
What they're saying is if The Walking Dead is not going to be a smart show or consistently smart show, it should go the other way.
Yeah, consistently dumb.
3 is a big fan of ours, develop characters through flashbacks.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while now. And
it talked about how Lost did that effectively, and even Mad Men. Number 4, keep things moving.
Yes, please.
It's okay to have more than one thing happen in an episode, really. Yeah. You'll be fine. And the other one is to punish morality or face moral compromises. And they compare that to Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad, where there are no really good choices. There are a bunch of, less terrible ones.
Yeah.
And if you try to make a moral choice, it ends up biting you in the ass. It's like Walt. Every time he tries to solve a problem, he creates 3 others.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I like it too. And I think that so far, a lot of the show gets away with kind of being black and white, other than with the huge exception of Shane. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to, if you want to see some more commentary on that, hit up our Facebook site. I might link it in the show notes too.
Yeah, you probably should.
Maybe.
Okay.
I want people to join our Facebook site, damn it.
All right.
That was a good show. I mean, as we alluded to in the show opener, the quote from Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
This show has kind of redeemed itself in my eyes. In fact, I think we're going to get to the end of this episode and have a rollicking debate about how clever the writers actually were.
I think so, too. Because I'm not fully on board with that. And I read your review of it last night, and you seem to be a little more on board with it than I am, but we'll talk about that later.
Really?
Teasers. Okay, why don't we...
You want to pimp our show theme?
Show theme?
Yeah.
Oh, the music? Yeah, that's my brother's band called My Stereona. You can find them at mystereonamusic.com, or use the link that we'll put in the show notes, and you can get the whole 4-minute theme song there.
It's
that
groovy.
They made. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Got a dirty sound, like a zombie's fingernails.
Exactly. That's what I told him when he was making it. Make it sound like a zombie's fingernails.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the recap. The episode tonight opens up with Glenn telling the group about the barn walkers.
Dropping the bomb.
Yeah, and he makes no... he doesn't mince words here. He's just like, look, there are walkers in the barn.
Right.
And he learned that from Dale last episode. Dale's just like, spit it out, son.
I'm starting to feel like he's like Sheldon from...
Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory.
Really?
Like, he has no idea how to express anything gracefully. It's just going to be...
Yeah, but he's learning now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Dale has kind of taken him under his old fatherly wing.
His wrinkled wing.
Him. Yeah.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Well, he's taken him under his old wrinkled hat, apparently, this episode.
And already this thing gears us up to be in full Shane mode, right? Because he's,
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this, Rick's like, this ain't our land. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, this is our lives. Mm-hmm. And he's in full-blown, redneck Shane mode. I loved it. I actually
I do
kind
too.
of turned a corner on Shane this episode.
Just
and
this
I have
episode?
problems with this. It's almost feel like I'm, it'd almost be like a next season Breaking Bad gets me to start rooting or liking Walter White again. It's like after all the terrible things he's done, why am I rooting for this guy?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Shane is very much supposed to be the bad guy here, right? But you can't help but think, man, he's doing everything right to survive.
He's doing the Lord's own work here.
Absolutely. Everything that no one else is willing to do, he's going to do this episode. Mm-hmm. Maggie's not happy, though. Maggie's very unhappy with Glenn, as we'll see later, but she's over there shaking her head. Nope, don't tell him.
Yep.
But, of course, Dale tells him to, and he does.
Have you heard of the new expression that's going around on Reddit? Nol. N-O-L.
No.
It's called, like, noping out loud. Like when something's so wrong, you go, nope. You can't contain it.
No, I haven't seen it.
I think she was nolling.
Yeah.
To herself, if that makes sense.
Sure.
She was noping out loud in her head.
Visibly.
Yeah. Visibly nolling.
Yeah, okay. So then the group goes over to investigate the barn. And I'm still, every episode, blown away by the zombie makeup. I mean, Greg Nicotero and his team are masters.
When the first zombie to stuck its, well, I don't want to say its
lack
nose,
of nose,
his gaping nasal cavity, that was freaking amazing. Like, do you think that was blue screen or practical?
A lot of the stuff they do is blue screen.
Or green
the stuff
screen,
where they,
I guess now.
Yeah. The stuff where they subtract from people, though, I think is typically green screen.
Really?
Because
it's hard to, although, did you know that one zombie that was in the gymnasium that was his legs were chewed off that came after Otis? He was actually had lost his legs, a double amputee.
That's what I'd heard, yeah.
So
and sometimes they'll get really skinny people so that they can build up the makeup on them.
Maybe they got a casting call for a dude that was like missing a nose. Or
they might have.
Had a false
There are
nose.
people that
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like, what was that terrible Dan Aykroyd movie?
I'm not a big
that
Dan
was like
Aykroyd
from the
fan at all.
90s. Like, I don't remember, but he played like a judge in a small town that wore a false nose. It was disgusting. Anyway, let's not.
Was that with Tom Hanks?
Was Tom Hanks in that?
I feel like Tom Hanks was in that.
All I know is the Digital Underground provided the set. They had the Humpty Hump dance guy in there. They did like a whole music video randomly in the middle of the song. We need to move on.
Yeah, off topic.
I want to say though that I continued to admire Dale up through this scene because like just when everybody was tearing into Glenn, he stood up and said, I knew about it too.
Yeah.
And you know what? I thought we could survive another night, and we did.
Yeah,
he's not afraid.
Last episode where he was talking to Herschel, he didn't say that Glenn found out. He said, I was snooping around, I found the barn.
Yeah.
He was defending him.
Yeah, and standing up to crazy Shane is, again, no mean feat.
Absolutely. And this guy knows how to stand up to Shane. Of course, Shane here, is totally laying it out, just telling everyone how it is.
And I was actually glad he was there because he was keeping it trill.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. It's like, look, what the hell are we even debating this for?
This is insane. Mm-hmm. So then, of course, Shane goes over to check on the barn security. And I like how when he gets up close to the door and the zombie jumps out and scares him,
first thing he does,
instinctively reaches for his gun, which wasn't there. And that had to piss him off. Knowing there's a barn full of walkers, we don't have any weapons, and it's Herschel's fault.
And I think that, and also Rick's. I think that
surely
that moment there set the rest of the plot in motion.
Definitely.
It was Chekhov's lack of gun.
Nice. So then we get the scene where Maggie smashes an egg on Glenn's head, which I thought was pretty funny.
Why would you waste an egg like that?
I love that that's his first thought.
Yeah,
not
right.
like, I can't believe you smashed an egg on my head.
That was actually
because it's annoying.
He's thinking like a survivor. I like that.
Yeah. He's taking some lessons from Shane. I wonder what happens if you smash an egg on Shane's head.
I don't know. It would be absorbed by the lobes.
Maybe. The lobes would just open their mouths and eat it. All right, moving on.
Like the tongue from Into the Kung Pao?
Yeah.
All right. Again, let's move on.
Next scene, Lori and Carl are talking about Sophia during the home party. I gotcha. You're cracking up over there.
Yeah, man. I'm just seeing Steve. Who's the Odenkirk that was doing that?
Steve Odenkirk.
Was it?
Yeah.
Doing the little, eyes and teeth on Shane's lobes.
Yep.
God, you need
Photoshop.
to. That's on Reddit.
Yeah.
If it's not on Reddit by the end of this week, it's a moral failure on your part.
It will be.
All right.
So Lori and Carl are talking about Sophia, and Carl's doing homeschooling, which was kind of cool to see. He's not actually.
it?
Yeah. The kids got to learn, right?
Dude, I've had school called off because there was like 3 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
If a zombie apocalypse is coming and you can't get school like called off, I'm calling bullshit.
Okay. I mean, what's the other option here? That Carl goes through life as a dumbass?
Well,
who only knows how to survive?
Yeah, actually, that would be an improvement, I think, on most of the group here. A little bit of focused, focused curriculum on running, cardio, gunsmith, shooting accuracy. Yeah,
Sure. But he's got to be able to like record what happens, right? He's got to be able to read and write.
Whatever. I'll leave that to Dan Brooks.
Okay.
So enough about the homeschooling. Let's move on.
Okay. Next scene, Carl stops Daryl from going back out to look for Sophia. Or did I say Carl? Carol stops Daryl. Yeah, Carl doesn't do anything in this scene. So why does Daryl get mad here? Or why do you think? Because I've got a couple.
Well, first of all,
reasons.
there's one good reason. Carol was coming on to him.
And Daryl, has no idea how to feel about that, right? Or just it's Carol.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it.
Were you? Okay.
No, I saw that as like some attempted sexual tension with the writers.
Sure.
But a lot of people on the internet said that this was an evolution of their mother-son relationship. Because in the show, I think they're trying to portray Carol as older than maybe she looks or something. But a lot of people are getting a mother-son relationship. Did you get that?
No, I'm picking up love interest vibes from that relationship.
Well, now, okay, from who? From Daryl to Carol or Carol to Daryl?
Obviously, Carol to Daryl right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you think that she got hotter when he called her a dumb bitch?
No, I think...
With her history of abuse? Oh, he must love me.
Yeah, that was definitely not a good way to go about it. But there's a couple of reasons here why I think he got mad. First of all, Carol's being nice to him. Mm-hmm. She's showing the love that Merle said he'd never get,
And he doesn't know how to deal with that.
Exactly. He has no idea what to do because it's the first time it's happened to him. And then number two, he's been out searching for Sophia, and now her mom doesn't even care. Her mom's telling him not to go back out and search. He's been risking his life this whole time. His side is messed up because he was out searching for her.
Right.
So he could feel a little betrayed there.
And as he says later in the episode, like that's all or I think he says, "There's what else do I have to do?"
Yeah,
like this is his mission.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I don't have much else to say.
What do you think about
that
Carl? I think you skipped over a scene where Carl was talking to Rick, and he said, Shane's just scared. I'm not leaving until we find Sophia. I think she'd really like it here.
Okay, I don't remember that scene.
Really?
But I may have skipped it.
With Carl Jr. sitting there with his couch.
Carl Jr. Carl's had a kid already? Man.
I always think that he's like Rick Jr., especially when he's wearing that goddamn hat.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that scene.
So Carl is sitting there saying that and kind of like foreshadowing the showdown with Shane, foreshadowing the death of Sophia, because anytime anyone starts expressing optimism in the show, dollars to donuts, that optimism is not going to be paid.
It needs
repaid.
to be crushed, stamped out.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like that's what the writers are doing. It's just crushing any hope they have.
Right.
So moving on to the next scene, Dale gives Glenn his hat and then talks to Andrea about Shane.
Yeah, I'm glad that Glenn didn't have to join the hat club just to get a hat, I'm glad he didn't have to get shot in the stomach to...
Oh, is that the hat club?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, well, he didn't want Rick's hat yet.
Oh, really?
Once he decides, hey, I want Rick's hat.
It's all over.
There's a bullet waiting for him. Yeah. So why when Dale is in the RV with Andrea, doesn't he come out and tell Andrea what Shane did as far as like lining up Rick in his sights and holding him there, as he said last episode?
Because that's not his style, man. He's a lot more passive-aggressive.
You think?
Yeah. Like, he wants, I think, and a reader kind of nails him when we get to the feedback section. He kind of wants everyone in the group, except for maybe Shane, who he's identified, to love and respect him.
Okay, yeah. So he just didn't do it because, like, maybe she wouldn't believe him, and then he looked like an asshole again, or
I guess. Because what bothers me about Dale, because again, I had some grudging respect for him last episode and early on in this episode, but his modus operandi seems to be, I don't trust a group to make their own decisions, so I'm going to take actions to make sure I get my way. Yeah. I'm going to fake repair the RV so we can't leave. Yeah. So the debate for the leave Sophia never even happened. I'm worried about Andrea shooting herself, so I'm going to steal her gun.
Yeah, he seems to be holding very important things hostage.
Yeah, I'm worried that Shane is going to do something rash with the barn, so I'm going to steal all the guns and take them, and steal all the guns and take them into the swamp. Yeah, and I hope the writers are building that to pay off and bite him in the ass.
That would be nice. That really would.
Because that is a very shitty way to lead your life. That not only do what you know is best, but you're going to then cripple and handicap the people you love so that they can't make a decision contrary to you. It's very controlling. Yeah.
And that goes back kind of to, I don't know, the morality stuff. Yeah. And something that you said earlier about how, well, I want to talk a little bit about that number 5 thing and how to fix Walking Dead. It seems like they do have a lot of moral choices in the show, and yet every time Rick chooses the moral path, nothing bad happens to them. Right. Do you think that's on purpose from the writers? Or are they saying that maybe things will work out for you if, like, good karma sort of thing?
Give me an example, because we'll go with
the Sophia thing. Yeah. Nothing bad has happened to them.
Carl almost died. Otis died. Sophia ended up, they risked their lives.
Carl's fine now. Otis, he didn't care about
There
Otis. There's no lasting
permanent damage yet. Now, I think that they're really, I think season 2.5 is shaping up to be a fucking catastrophe.
I hope so.
So, yeah. I think we're going to see the chickens kind of come home to roost in this episode. Yeah. Or the second half. Back half of season 2, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
If not, I will be kind of disappointed, because you're right. There's been some bad things that happen, but they literally are erased by the next episode.
Speaking of bad things happening, when Glenn asked Dale to take over Watch, I assumed the walkers were going to bust out of the barn immediately and start eating people.
I knew Dale was up to something. I didn't know what he was up to.
Well, I'm just saying, when Dale is a lookout, bad things happen.
Oh, for sure.
And I've actually got a theory on that we'll get into a little bit later.
Okay.
But we'll see. So next,
what do you think about his whole speech to Andrea about you want to be? I mean, this really turned me off. This whole passive aggressive thing. It's like anytime you want to beat me up, anytime I show concern. No, she wants to beat you up when you're sticking your nose inappropriately and being an asshole. Yeah, and he's got this raging nice guy syndrome that kind of makes me sick to my stomach. I alternate between thinking he's got this strong core and thinking he's got this Weasley way about it.
Sure, he's definitely Weasley, manipulative,
but he also is tough and strong in a weird
Yeah, he'll stand up to Shane. He'll stand up to Rick or Herschel or anybody who he needs to, but in certain respects, he's weird.
I haven't quite cracked his nut yet.
Sure. So let's go to the next scene. Rick confronts Herschel about the barn. And I have to say, every time that Rick and Herschel are on the screen together, I'm riveted. I love their conversations. I love their interactions.
Well, Herschel's a really good actor.
He's fantastic, yeah.
I mean, he plays inner turmoil very, very well.
As we can see at the end of this, especially, man, he blew my socks off at the end of this episode.
A lot of people had a problem with that portrayal. We'll get to that later, I guess.
Oh, you're kidding me. Okay. Yeah. Psychotics. Next scene.
If you disagree with Jim Jones, you're psychotic.
Did you have anything else to say about that conversation that they had?
No, moving on.
All right. So Rick reports back to Shane and tells him Lori's pregnant.
That's his trump card this whole episode.
The pregnant card?
Argument not going my way. Hey, yeah, did I mention my wife's pregnant?
Yeah, it really is. He's pulling that card out a lot.
Yeah. Put that card back in the deck, Rick.
So Shane is kind of blown away here and manages to just barely congratulate him at the end.
Right.
And covers his dumbfoundedness.
Don't you think, I mentioned this in my review, don't you think that would have been a hell of a time to make this whole right, the come to Jesus, as they say, with Shane on this?
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely a good time.
Maybe not drag it out, but just kind of like somehow say, look, I know things happened when I wasn't around, and I want you to know that I'm moving. I don't blame you. I don't blame Lori. Things happened. Mm-hmm. But now, this is the way. It's like, I think he should have acknowledged that instead of letting this fester. And I think there was a little bit of, maybe the Rick showed he was angry about it, because when he stalked away, I kind of clearly got he was subliminally saying, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm pissed at you.
Uh-huh.
So it's
that
like,
was a very smarmy thank you.
Maybe he's only okay with Lori's side of the equation.
Huh.
But at the end, when he's anguish calling him brother, like, brother, don't do this. I mean, Rick seems more conflicted than what we maybe has suspected at the end of last episode about the whole deal.
Yeah, and how could he not be, really?
Yes, I thought that was pretty realistic. But,
yeah.
But practical me thought that would have been a good time to, regardless of how you feel, you guys have to get right about that situation sooner or later, preferably sooner.
Yeah, because it's just going to fester, and it's just going to get
Do you think
worse
if he
and
had,
worse.
it would have had a different outcome on Shane, if that would have reset his rage-o-meter a little bit?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think it might have a little bit, because...
My experience is people that have difficulty controlling their emotions have a weird respect for people that are stoic. Like, they can't it was like they just have this really weird deferential kind of way. And maybe that would have, again, soothed his savage beast or somehow.
Maybe.
Anyway.
It was interesting, though, how they kind of set this up, because this is what sets Shane off on a mission, right? This is when Shane decides, hey, I'm going to go confront Lori. I'm going to get those guns, and I'm going to destroy the walkers.
Yeah, him not having his gun and also finding out that Lori's carrying what he feels is his unborn child, I think, were definitely the motivators to kick him into high gear. And
they set this up 2 episodes ago, I think, when he was telling Lori, look, I will do whatever it takes to protect you and Carl. And now he's found out that
wasn't even his kid. Shit.
Yeah, and now he's found out that he's maybe got a kid in the mix here. He's definitely going to take out the threat, which is the Walker barn,
Right.
So I thought that was pretty good on the writer's part. Let's go ahead and move on. Herschel is talking to Maggie inside about kicking the survivors out. And I'm not quite sure why he's still sticking to his guns now that they know about the walkers. The only thing I can come up with is that maybe he feels, because he says something about that he doesn't want the responsibility. So maybe he feels like he'd be responsible for these people if he let them stay. Like he'd be taking their lives
I'm
in his
sticking
hand.
to my guns from my analysis of last episode that Herschel sees this as a, powder keg about to go off, and he wants no part of it. He doesn't want him to stick around because he knows this is an untenable situation with elements like Shane and, And then Maggie's coming in for the 2-punch, calling them walkers and stuff. You can already see this kind of like poison, and and he's got this rose tinted glasses. Like Rick's very viably saying, "Hey, we could be stronger together. We could help you fortify this. We could help you," which is something I've been fucking saying since episode 2. Mm-hmm. Like, as these jerk-offs are wasting time fixing dinners and washing their clothes and fishing zombies out of the well, there are perimeters that could be put in place and defenses to make, and just no sense of urgency on that. So it's like that was a good sell by Rick. And Herschel, I don't think, like he says, it's like you don't know. Things are different out there. You've been sheltered.
Yeah, you saw it on the news, whatever.
Right, but that's like, since the cameras have turned off, things have gotten even worse.
Yeah.
Now, someone said on the internet, this was in, I think, Alan Sepinwall's blog, a comment that he thought that Herschel, when he said, these people can still be saved, he was talking about the humans. And then Rick addressed that, says, like, yeah, being out there changes you either into them or something that's not, that's no longer human.
Yeah.
What do you think of that analysis? Because watching it, honestly, I didn't really get that.
I did not get that. So you're saying that Herschel was talking about the people who are alive, not the zombies.
But he's basically saying, I'm trying to save my living family from being like you people.
I didn't pick up on that at all. If anything, I picked up more of like a religious connotation to it.
I did too. I think it's an interesting interpretation, but I just don't see it. I don't see any basis for it in the episode.
Definitely not.
All right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the religious issues here? Because they've been going into that quite a bit.
Not really. Do you have an angle on it?
Basically, my only impression here was a lot of the religions that I'm familiar with are kind of hostile towards outside ideas, towards people who think differently from what they've been told. And Herschel very much seems like he's protecting his family from the influence of these survivors.
Right.
Well.
I mean, this is okay. So this is why it's bad to use the Bible to win an argument, right? Because
Sure.
it's black and white. There's no gray. So you're going to have it turned in your face and used against you, just as Maggie does in this very argument. Mm-hmm. She's like, love your neighbor like yourself. Way to go, Dad.
Yeah.
And he's got he can say, well, it's different. Well, no bullshit. It's in the Bible.
Well, he should have just quoted another part of the Bible that directly contradicted that.
Probably. So, I mean, that's why, again, when you're talking about, I don't care what you personally believe, but when you're setting public policy, like who you're letting on the farm, who you're kicking off, maybe don't use the Bible as your basis for making that decision. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
All right. I thought it also was funny that Herschel still doesn't know Glenn's name. He calls him the Asian boy again. Yeah.
Right.
Moving on. Rick and Andrea are still planning to go look for Sophia, of course. And Herschel recruits Rick for a job. I don't have much to say about it. It's a very short scene. Basically, he's talking to Andrea about, let's go around this way and go into the woods.
And Herschel comes up and informs them all it's happened again.
Yep. And tells Andrea, no, you're not coming with us. Just Rick.
I think he sees her as a crazy, as one of the cray-crays.
Yeah, and I think the only one he doesn't see like that is Rick.
And Dale. I think he actually respected Dale.
Yeah.
I think he sees it's Asian boy, Shane, Andrea, Laura. All of them are the irrational crazies. Daryl for sure.
Yeah.
Rolling up on his SS white supremacist motor hog. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you like to shake your mic boom a little bit more there?
I'll try. Yeah, some more. Okay, so next scene, Shane tells Lori that Rick is basically worthless and the baby is his. I don't know. This scene was weird to me because I get what Lori's saying. She's saying, look, regardless of whether or not this is your kid, Rick is still here, and we're going to raise him like it's ours. There's no thought as to whether or not this might be your kid, so get it out of your head. But of course that's not going to do for Shane. Not at all.
Yeah, I don't know how Shane really feels about his progeny, honestly, because and man, in the zombie apocalypse, maybe there's room for alternative lifestyles. Maybe they could raise it in a it takes a village after all. Maybe it takes two dumbass sheriffs to raise a child.
It might, yeah.
And get him the book. Go send Glenn out to the bookstore to rumple through for a used copy of I've Got Two Dads. And explain to him how things are going to be. I don't know. I appreciated Lori's loyalty, but I also think it was probably the wrong call to dismiss Shane like that.
Yeah,
especially knowing what she knows about his kind of stability at the moment. I mean, maybe I'm not saying you placate the man, but maybe acknowledge that there's some pain here for him too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't, like I said, I don't know. The show's basically Shane's in is Shane's in asshole mode, and that's the way it's going to be.
I feel like the writers are just kind of letting that fester for now.
Now,
they're just like, Shane knows, and what's he going to do?
I will say that, holy cow, his response to her when she said, even if it's yours, it's never going to be yours. You can't change that. And he just said, I don't need to. He basically said, hey, Rick's not going to survive this.
Yeah, well, he told her that.
Yeah, he's like, Rick, yeah, that was really Heart of Darkness shit, man.
For sure. He was saying basically Rick is not equipped to deal with this world.
Right.
So he's going to be gone very soon. Yeah. And I'm going to step in and take his place.
His dumbass is going to get himself killed on one of these damn fool idealistic crusades. And that's all going to... And then what, you're really going to turn me down?
Yeah.
But he's man, Shane's a creepy dude.
All out creepster. Totally.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This will be interesting to see where that plot line goes. But moving on, Carl's Jr. curses and tells Shane to keep looking for Sophia.
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's like when it was literally like debating mini Rick.
Yeah, he's got the sheriff's hat.
And he's saying exactly what Rick is saying. Well, can't leave Sophia. I mean, he almost I think they coached him to kind of even mimic Andrew Lincoln's horrible Southern accent on this, too.
Maybe.
It was really, I mean, I thought it was hilarious, especially because I think Shane's character was self-aware enough to realize that, what was going on.
And that I'm wondering if that's not going to cause problems for Rick down the line, because Shane, like he said a couple episodes ago, will do anything to protect Carl and Lori. Mm-hmm. And if he feels that Rick is rubbing off on Carl too much, and Carl is developing this attitude to where it's going to get him killed, he might step in and say, either try to encourage Carl to be a little more Shane-like, or take out Rick, period. You know?
I got more to say about this, but I'm going to scroll down and put it in the spoiler section because it involves some comic book analysis.
Oh, okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about the next scene, where Shane realizes that the guns are gone. And I really like his conversation with Glenn here, where Glenn's standing up on the roof and he's talking to him and he says, "Man, I don't get it." And Shane's just like, no, man, you don't. No. And he walks off like he's about to do something.
No, man, you don't.
No, man, you don't.
Yeah, that was... I actually thought Shane had a lot of dark humor dialogue in this whole thing.
I thought that Shane had such a wide range here of acting. He got extremely pissed at the end there, of course. Mm-hmm. He was very weirdly subdued when he confronted Dale later on about the guns.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a weird reaction?
Well, see, I'm just going to talk about it in respects to Glenn. I think Shane sees these people as anyone that's not Rick and maybe Andrea and definitely Daryl are jokes to him. He doesn't owe them an explanation. He doesn't. He knows they're going to bend to his will. They don't have this backbone to stand to him, so it's they're like children to him.
Yeah,
it's you don't argue or reason with a child after to a certain point. You just take, it's you give me the knife here. I'm taking it from you.
Yeah, and when they say they don't understand, you say no, you don't.
Yeah, that's right. It's because I told you. That's why. And I thought that came across that he just has contempt. I mean, he has gotten his little worldview. I mean, after killing Otis, he now just has contempt for these people that are, living in La La Land on this farm.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I like that take a lot.
Well, thank you.
Moving on. Rick and Herschel and that one kid, not Chris.
Jimmy. I believe it's actually,
Jimmy?
I think it is Jimmy.
Is it? Okay. Rick Herschel and probably Jimmy snare the Swamp Walkers. And they're
this is fucking ridiculous.
You're right. This is insane.
I want to have a feel I haven't written a survival review yet. I took it off. It was fucking day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, come on.
I will write it eventually. I'll write it probably tomorrow or Wednesday. But when I write a new one on Friday, I'm gonna have a field day.
Oh yeah, with this scene and
this scene
a couple
could go three different things, because not only are what they're doing fundamentally stupid, which whatever. The way they're doing it is fucking stupid too.
You just got to be the carrot, not the stick. That's the key.
You got to lead them, man.
Yeah,
you got to lead them. I love when he said, "You got to be the carrot, not the stick." Andrew Lincoln had his look on his face, Rick had his look on his face, and then when Herschel turned his back, he pointed a zombie at him. It's you be the carrot, old man.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they were doing, because they had Jimmy out there, right?
Right.
So 3 people to 2 zombies. That way, Jimmy could walk in front and lead kind of the zombie train. back to the barn.
Okay, see, I thought he was like trying to say, "Hey, keep the zombie in front of you, or you stay in front of the zombie, and you don't have to pull them."
I thought so too, but then Herschel was doing the exact same thing that Rick was,
and he's not. He like knows this woman by name, and he's like, "You see a Walker, I see Louise, who raised turnip greens or whatever the fuck she did." But like, I don't know, man. The way this thing was shot made Herschel really seem like a loony. Because how in the hell can you think that these people are still people?
So I want to know how in the hell you can think
people, because they were rotting, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, it's so blatantly obvious that these people, like when you see a walker in the barn without a nose.
Which maybe you can argue that Herschel, because my theory last week was that he was getting these people in reasonably fresh conditions. Like he sealed his wife and his stepson in the barn after they just turned, and they looked kind of like Amy type condition. And he's made the girls go and feed him chickens and stuff, and he hasn't had anything to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Seeing these people, and I guess the other thing is that Otis used to do this. Like
exactly.
Herschel's not really up to speed. Maybe.
Yeah, and if you watch The Talking Dead.
We need to talk about that, because there's a lot of people that were outraged about how Herschel, like they're basically presuming that Herschel knew Sophia was in the barn.
Well, here Robert Kirkman explained it exactly, that Otis was the guy who did this, and before they ever started searching for this girl or anybody knew about it, Otis was dead. So they never had an opportunity to say, hey, we've got a girl in the barn, because nobody knew. His
timeline that he laid out was basically Otis got her and put her in the barn, and then went hunting for deer, and then shot Carl, and then all that stuff happened, and he never had a chance to say, hey, I found a strange girl. Because I'm sure, so they're laying out that timeline now. I think that's kind of bullshit, in the same way I thought that the way Villigan and crew did the sequence of the ricin poisoning and the Lily of the Valley poisoning, it doesn't really make sense, and we never really thought it through, but there's probably enough time in there to do it. It's like, I don't like things like that, because most people on the internet that I'm seeing being outraged on that are completely right. It's like, this isn't something, the way Herschel sees these people, as you're sitting around at dinner, Otis would be like, yeah, I found a little girl. It's so sad, strange. And this would have been a misunderstanding to just all cleaned up. So
yeah, what were you doing out in the woods?
Yeah, maybe
we were looking for a little girl.
Right.
Oh, I found a little girl.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and they had did they have a couple days to do that? Between the time that Carl got shot and they got back to the farm, and when they went out to look for the medicine?
That was the same evening. But they're postulating that so basically Sophia was dead within the first 2 days.
Yeah. When they were looking for her at the RV.
Which seems kind of weird based on what Shane found. It doesn't, those cans and stuff looked like they were less than a day old. So I don't, again, it seems like the timing is a little bothering, but I'm going to whatever,
Yeah. If the creator says that this happened, I guess this happened.
I don't subscribe to that theory myself, because again, I've got some long-standing issues with Villigan.
Sure.
As I went on about Breaking Bad, I don't buy all that shit. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So they haven't thought it through. That's it. There's nothing in the series itself to substantiate these claims. But the word of God is
this happened.
Herschel apparently didn't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
So. Another thing that Herschel apparently doesn't know is how easy it is to wrangle a zombie, because he says it's easy. Yeah. And Rick questions it. Rick's like, I thought you said this was easy.
They came so close to getting bit like 2 different occasions.
Yeah. But there's actually, I think, some significance to the Herschel saying this is easy, because after Rick questions, I thought you said this was easy, he says, easier than some things. And I think what he's saying there is it's easier for me to do this than to shoot them, to kill them like you guys are.
Nah.
I think it's there.
Yeah, I think you're right, but this is my response to Herschel. Nah, point and click is much easier. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean,
here, look at me. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. There, it's done. Point and click.
Yeah.
So
Herschel doesn't see it that way, though. Apparently, Herschel doesn't see much, because he fell. He must have fallen hip deep into water, because his pants are soaked up to his hips. in this scene before he gets even into the water.
I think he just pissed himself.
Hip to ankle? That's pretty impressive.
Right.
On both sides. Okay, let's move on to the next scene.
Also, do you think he's a little out of touch? Because he's pushing his my barn, my farm, my rules. But he don't got any guns, and he don't have any muscle.
Yeah.
So he's actually... It's weird that he's relying on these people's innate goodness to not just take advantage and overrun him and overthrow him, but he's suspicious that they won't respect his rules or respect his demands that they get off his land. That seems kind of odd. That like you either trust the people and the fact that they're good folks and they're going to listen to what you say, or you don't trust them. At which point they're just bandits. And why wouldn't you think that the second you like give him static, they're just going to be like, oh, okay, well, if you won't give it, we're taking it.
Yeah, he's in a very tenuous position.
Do you think part of that is because the group is kind of split between the people that would take what they need by force and the people that are essentially
to play them
good?
Against themselves, maybe?
Maybe that's why it's such a mixed message, because the group is mixed.
Possibly.
It's not all one thing.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Daryl takes Carol out to the Cherokee Rose and apologizes.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Cherokee Rose thing doesn't do it for me.
I liked it when it first
kind of
came up, but coming up again.
Yeah.
And the fact that that doesn't turn out well.
I mean, I do like that Daryl apologizes, right? Because he was a huge dick before.
Yeah, he was.
He needs to apologize, and Carol's been nothing but nice to him.
There was a nice image macro on Reddit. It's like douchebag Daryl. Andrew shoots him, says everything's okay. Carol's nice to him, dumb bitch. You know,
yeah.
Or knows a scumbag Daryl.
No kidding, that's horrible. Moving on, Rick and Herschel continue to wrestle with the zombies again. Of course, I don't have anything to say about that. It's short. It's action. Whatever.
Let's get to Glenn's conversation with Maggie.
Absolutely. So this is where he tells Maggie basically why he told the group about the barn walkers, and he doesn't apologize here. He does not apologize. He tells her why she needs to stop thinking he's crazy.
I said in my review, like, Glenn meet Spine meet Glenn, and it's a goddamn overdue, meeting.
For sure.
He manned up and said, like, I'm not going to apologize because I'd rather you be angry at me and alive than, happy and dead.
Exactly. And he says secrets get you killed.
Yep.
And that's perfect considering last episode, it's called Secrets, Maggie almost got killed. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought that was a cute little nod to that.
And then, I love the fact that he's like, look, I don't care about the debate. I don't care if they're sick people. I don't care if they're walkers. All I know is they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, even if they're just sick people, they're fucking dangerous, and there's a barn full of them, and I don't want you around that.
Yeah, and why can Herschel not see this? He's got what's clearly a living family around him, and then he's got walkers in the barn.
Right.
And those people are dangerous. He knows they're dangerous. They try to eat him every time he finds one of them.
Right.
So why does he keep them out there? It's insane.
I don't know,
It's insane.
There's a lot of things people that do in the real world that I don't understand. I kind of want to get political on this and go into, but I'm going to stop because
our religion and politics in one show.
Yeah, man, our iTunes reviews wouldn't survive.
No. The other thing I noticed in this scene that Glenn, he's sitting up on top of the RV, right?
Right.
Maggie comes walking up the road. He doesn't notice her until she's 100 feet away. Mm-hmm. She's walking up this super long road, super long. He's got a mile's worth of visibility. He sees her 100 feet away. He's wearing Dale's hat. Oh, that's what it is.
It's like -5 the perception.
Yeah, or it's so floppy that it comes down over his eyes, maybe.
Well, like a sheepdog's hair?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, why do you think... Okay, wait a second. Why do you think that he didn't see Maggie until she got... I mean, you can't holler at someone a mile away. No. Yeah, I just said holler.
It's the way he's looking off screen. He clearly goes, oh, there's somebody there.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, then, yeah, there must be something. Dale's hat is kryptonite to looking out.
Yep. All right, let's move on.
It's the opposite of Superman.
So Shane finds Dale hiding the guns, and this scene, very weird, but very, very good. Like, Shane's reaction, totally weird to me.
Yeah,
but I liked it.
Like, here's the thing. People are bitching about Dale and how stupid he was. Mm-hmm. And I'm right there with you. But, like I mentioned, this is what I meant when I mentioned in my review that they're turning these bugs into features. This is what Dale does. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, it's stupid. Yes, it's short-sighted. Yes, it's batshit crazy. But this is showing a consistency of character now.
Definitely, yeah.
Which I like, and eventually, I hope it bites him in the ass. He's probably going to die. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if he'll make it through this season the way he's carrying on. Honestly,
and this might be a little foreshadowing. At least I'll go out knowing the world didn't take me
because
down with
honestly,
it.
The only reason Shane doesn't beat him to bloody fucking pulp is because it would make his life a little bit harder with the other survivors.
Yeah,
that's the only reason he did not just destroy Dale in the scene, I think.
Sure.
Because it would turn Lori off. It would make his life difficult with Shane and Rick. He doesn't really want to try to have to kill Rick.
Yeah,
at this point.
And I think maybe he saw that Dale was kind of benign here because he puts the gun right up to his chest. Shane walks up to it, and Dale...
No, he walked his dog.
Yeah, Dale couldn't pull the trigger. Yeah. And Shane knew he wouldn't. Yeah. And now he has proof of that. No harm is going to come to Shane.
He called his
Dale.
bluff. Dale has been, like, I don't know if he's got dentures or not, but his teeth are gone. He has no teeth. His gun is unloaded.
So Shane doesn't even see him as a threat anymore.
No. He's at the kids' table.
Exactly. So I think that's why Shane I don't even want to waste my effort on this guy.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about... I love that... Dale sitting here trying to throw the guilt button on what he thinks is why you try to just trip the guilt button on a sociopath? Yeah, he's like, well, at least when I can say when the world went to shit, I didn't go down with it, and Shane's like, fair enough, and took the guns and took off.
Yeah,
there's I don't need to debate. I don't need to tell you fuck you and why you're wrong and all this kind of stuff. It's like, whatever, man. Be delusional in the swamp as long as you want because I got the guns.
Yeah.
And I got mine.
Yeah, that's absolutely what he's thinking.
So the next 10 minutes are basically a coup. We saw a coup. We see a fundamental change in a power structure that is not going to be resolved until next half of the season, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's no going back with Herschel, I don't think.
No, Herschel is either broken or changed in a redeeming sort of way.
But I don't think he's the master of his own farm at this point.
Not at all. No,
because
Shane is the master of his farm. Rick might be.
They broke the first commandment of Herschel's farm. Don't shoot my family. Basically,
they broke every commandment. Guns, shooting the family. Yeah.
And Herschel was impotent to stop them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also, goddamn, I loved Shane's reaction. Like, he couldn't believe what he was seeing.
Yeah, when he goes to take off to open the barn himself, and he turns around and he sees those guys with the walkers, he flips out.
Yeah, he basically has a reaction I had. He scene
starts
before
running.
To it. Yeah,
he runs straight at them.
What the hell? What the hell is this? Like, I love it.
Who is that? Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, he is furious, and rightfully so.
Oh, and I'm conflicted about how I hate these writers for making me side with this goddamn rapist.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like these other characters are so fucking stupid and soft that the psychopathic rapist is seeming like they're reasonable.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like I'm holding my nose and voting for the party. It's like,
okay.
It's like I don't want to vote for this guy, but the other candidate is even worse.
Yeah. Lesser of two evils. So I thought that this scene, from the time that Shane puts a gun in Daryl's hand to the very end of this episode, I thought this was the best scene in the series so far. By a long shot.
And it's interesting because Sepinwall mentioned that he had pacing problems in this episode, where I was riveted basically from start to finish.
Yeah, I didn't see any pacing problems.
I want to say that I think this episode is better than the pilot.
Maybe. Man, I like the pilot, but I can't tell how much of that was just hype about, oh my God, I love this show.
And there was a lot of tense scenes, and you first got the zombies, and they really spent a lot of money on like the bicycle girl and all that. But
definitely,
there was not any kind of person like. Did we decide there's Morgan and his boy?
Yeah.
There, I liked a lot of the emotion that they showed there, but there was nothing like this epic confrontation. This was epic. This is the first time the series has been kind of epic.
This was the climax of this half of the season. It's hard to do that in a pilot,
right?
Know?
Yeah,
you can't really climax like that. So,
well, no, not really. This is a mid-season. I mean, this is the middle of the season.
I feel like they were basically treating this as a season to itself.
Agreed. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with this split. I guess on the internet that they're timing this to carry sweeps because they're not going to be ready with like Mad Men yet, so they're going to this is just a cold calculating decision to rake in ratings,
and it's
fine.
I think it's the most highly.
I'm not
rated,
a communist, so whatever.
I think it's the most watched TV
on AMC.
Cable. No, on cable.
No, I don't believe that.
That's what AMC says on their website. So
well,
maybe they're fudging the numbers, but that's what they say.
It does get like routinely 7-8 million people watching it.
I thought it was higher. I thought it was like 10 to 11,
well, it's weird.
12.
It's kind of like we debate with his conventions, turnstile versus tickets.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Because like they're counting the watches